If you've ever wondered what really makes cast members cringe behind those Magic Kingdom smiles, this video is for you. I've spent years working and playing in the parks. I've seen the good, the bad, and the completely cringe. After hearing confessions from former cast members, we're sharing 14 seemingly normal habits that secretly drive cast members bonkers. None of these are obvious rule breakers, but skip them and you could ruin someone else's vacation, embarrass your crew, or even earn a chat with security. We'll run through each one quickly, starting with a mistake most people make before they even make it past the turnstiles. Ready? Let's dive in. Number 1. Did you lose a kid? Watching your children. We get it. Disney is sensory overload in the best way. Lights, music, characters, snacks. It's a kid's dream. Mine too, actually. But that excitement is exactly why this becomes such a big issue. One of the fastest ways to spike a cast member's stress level is a child darting off while parents are distracted. It happens more often than you'd think. A toddler wanders into a shop, a kid slips into a crowd, and suddenly, you've got a full park moving in every direction. Here's the part most guests never see. When a child is reported missing, Disney can activate a quiet, coordinated response known as a Code Atom, where cast members monitor exits and sweep areas without alarming other guests. It's incredibly effective, but it's also something no one wants to trigger if it can be avoided. The fix is simple and makes your whole day smoother. Set expectations before you walk in. Hold hands in high-traffic areas. Pick a clear meeting spot in each land. Show kids what a cast member name tag looks like so they know who to approach. Because when everyone's paying attention, the magic stays fun, not frantic. Number 2. Read the room. Ignoring signs and instructions. Cast members joke that the most underrated superpower in Disney is simply reading. Seriously. Whether it's a stand here marker, a height requirement, or a reminder to have your ticket ready, the parks are filled with subtle cues designed to keep everything flowing smoothly, and yet, people walk right past them like they're decorative. Former cast members say that one of the most common slowdowns in a line isn't ride breakdowns. It's guests reaching the scanner completely unprepared, digging through bags, unlocking phones, or asking what they're supposed to do next. Multiply that by hundreds of people, and suddenly, a 20-minute wait becomes 35. And it's not just about the time. Ignoring safety instructions can cause real problems. There have been incidents where guests disregarded clear directions on rides, creating delays for everyone else. The fix is easy and makes you look like a total pro. As you move through a queue, glance ahead. Follow the signs, have your ticket, magic band, or phone ready before you reach the front. It keeps things moving, keeps people safe, and makes cast members silently love you. And, believe it or not, this next one is less about reading and more about listening. Number 3. Safety first. Ignoring cast members' instructions. Think of cast members as your park day GPS. They're not just there to wave and smile, they're actively managing crowds, ride timing, and safety in real time, and yet, some guests treat their instructions like optional suggestions. Former cast members will tell you this is where things get frustrating fast. Ask someone to move a stroller away from a parade route? Attitude. Ask guests to stay behind a rope during fireworks? Pushback. Remind someone to keep their hands inside a ride vehicle? Ignored. Until the attraction has to stop. And that's the part most people don't realize. When guests don't follow directions, it doesn't just affect them, it can shut down an entire ride. There have been cases where attractions had to be paused because someone stood up or ignored basic safety rules. That's hundreds of people delayed because one person didn't listen. Disney puts serious time and training into safety. Cast members are taught procedures, emergency responses, and how to keep things running smoothly. So when they ask you to move, wait, or adjust something, there's always a reason. Follow the instruction, do it quickly, you'll keep things moving, and you'll make everyone's day better, including your own. Now, let's talk about lines or queues because this is where things really start to boil over. Number 4. The line isn't a battlefield. losing patience, and getting mad in lines. Waiting is unfortunately part of the Disney experience. It just is. Some guests roll with it, snack in hand, making the best of it. Others treat every queue like a personal showdown, and that's where things start falling apart. Former ride operators say one of the biggest tension points is the merge area, where Lightning Lane and Standby come together. It feels unfair in the moment, especially when you see a stream of people walking past you. But here's what most guests don't realize. Cast members are following very specific ratios and flow patterns to keep the system balanced. In some situations, that can mean letting significantly more Lightning Lane guests through to clear a backlog before things normalize. So when people get angry, argue, or make a scene, it doesn't speed anything up. It actually slows the entire line down. And then there are the moments that can make cast members shake their heads, like guests sitting down in freshly cleaned areas or ignoring space while something's being handled. The better move? Reframe the wait, bring snacks, play a quick game, talk about what you're going to do next. Because at Disney, patience isn't just polite, it's part of the experience. And if you think lines bring out the worst in people, just wait until we get to this next one. Number 5. Height means height. Arguing about height requirements. This one makes cast members groan louder than a haunted mansion door creak. Some parents will try anything to get their kid on a ride, stuffing shoes, fluffing hair, even pulling out platform sneakers at the last second. And yes, those stories are real. Former cast members have seen it all, from last-minute shoe swaps to full-on arguments at the front of the line. But here's the thing most guests don't realize. Height requirements aren't arbitrary, they're tied directly to how ride restraints and safety systems function. If a rider doesn't meet the minimum height, those restraints may not secure properly in an emergency stop or evacuation scenario, and the last thing we want is a kid flying out of the coaster, am I right? That's why cast members are strict, and why kids are often measured more than once in the queue. So when someone argues, it puts cast members in a tough spot, and actually puts that child in a dangerous spot. Great parenting, guys. They're not denying your kid for fun, they're protecting your child. The smarter move? Measure your kids at home with the shoes they'll wear. Set expectations early, and if they don't make the cut, use rider switch so everyone still gets a turn, except the little guy who isn't quite tall enough yet. Disney's safety isn't flexible, even when emotions are. Phew! We've tackled 5 of the biggest offenders. Ready to level up? The next few habits cross from annoying to downright disrespectful. You don't want your trip remembered for any of these. Number 6. Don't force the magic, demanding freebies and magical moments. Disney is famous for creating magical moments, those unexpected little surprises that turn a good day into an unforgettable one. A cast member hands your kid a sticker, replaces a dropped treat, or maybe goes above and beyond in a way you never saw coming. That's the key word, unexpected. But here's what former cast members will tell you behind the scenes. The moment you ask for it, the magic is gone. There's been a growing trend of guests walking up and requesting something special, whether it's free food, line-skipping perks, or surprise extras. Some even try to negotiate after seeing another family receive one, and that puts cast members in a really awkward position. Because those moments aren't part of a menu, they're discretionary. They're rare on purpose. In fact, cast members are specifically told that magical moments shouldn't be expected or requested. That's what keeps them meaningful. When guests push for freebies, it doesn't just feel entitled, it takes away from the spirit of the experience. The better approach? Just be kind, be patient, treat people well. The funny thing is, the guests who don't ask for magic, they're usually the ones who end up getting it. Number 7. Pin trading, not pin hoarding. Obsessive pin traders. Pin trading is one of those uniquely Disney experiences. Part scavenger hunt, part conversation starter, part souvenir, all rolled into one. But like anything fun, it can get a little intense. Most cast members genuinely enjoy pin trading. It's one of the few moments where they get to slow down, chat, and connect with guests. But former cast members will tell you the vibe changes fast when it turns competitive. Some adults treat it like a high-stakes marketplace, scanning lanyards for the best pins, skipping past kids, or asking cast members to dig through hidden stock for something rare. That's not really what this was designed for. Disney's official guidelines even limit trades to just 2 pins per cast member per day to keep things fair and moving for everyone. And there's a reason for that. It's meant to be quick, friendly, and accessible, especially for kids. At its best, pin trading creates small, unforgettable moments. A quick exchange, a shared story, a kid lighting up over a character they love. That's the magic. So take your time, be courteous, and let kids have their moment. When it stays fun, everybody wins. And speaking of things that should be simple but somehow aren't, this next one surprises a lot of people. Number 8. It's not their fault. Blaming cast members for weather, prices, and ride closures. This one always catches new cast members off guard. Guests will walk up and unload frustration about everything. The rain, ticket prices, a ride going down, even the fact that fireworks were delayed. But here's the reality. The person you're talking to has zero control over any of that. Former cast members have shared stories of being yelled at when attractions shut down for weather, even though those closures are triggered by strict safety protocols, especially when lightning or severe storms roll in. And in Florida, that can happen fast. One minute it's sunny, the next minute it's full-on downpour with thunder. Same goes for pricing. That $3 bottle of water or higher, not set by the person ringing you up. Disney operates like a small city. Decisions about ride operations, pricing, and weather response come from teams far behind the scenes. In fact, the parks often stay open through rain, and refunds typically aren't issued just because of bad weather. So if something goes wrong, take a breath. If it's a real issue, head to guest relations. Otherwise, pack a poncho, embrace the chaos, and remember, sometimes the most memorable Disney moments happen in the rain. And if you think that one gets awkward, the next one gets personal real fast. Number 9. We're people too. Treating cast members like objects. Behind those name tags are real people. That sounds obvious, but in a high-stress environment like Disney, a lot of guests forget it. Cast members are trained to be relentlessly positive, smiling, upbeat, helpful, no matter what's happening. That's part of the job. But that doesn't mean they're robots. In fact, many cast members talk about the emotional toll of having to stay cheerful even when they're being yelled at, insulted, or treated like they don't matter. And unfortunately, that happens more than you'd expect. Some guests take the "I paid a lot to be here" mindset and turn it into entitlement, snapping fingers, using harsh language, or speaking to cast members like they're personal servants. In extreme cases, there have been reports of guests threatening or verbally abusing employees. Here's the reality. Cast members are the reason your trip feels magical. They're the ones fixing problems, answering questions, and keeping everything running. So a small shift goes a long way. Make eye contact, say thank you, use their name if you see it on their badge, and if someone goes above and beyond, stop by guest relations and leave a compliment. Be sure to leave their name and the city they're from, which is all on the name tag. Kindness doesn't just improve your day, it can completely change theirs. Number 10. Hands off Mickey. Harassing characters and being inappropriate. This one should be common sense, but cast members will tell you that it's a real issue. When you meet a character, it feels playful, it feels larger than life, but inside that costume is a real person, often dealing with heavy suits, limited visibility, lots of heat, and a constant stream of interactions, and unfortunately, not all of those interactions are respectful. There have been documented cases of guests grabbing, pushing, or behaving inappropriately toward character performers, sometimes even causing injuries. And while most encounters are fun and wholesome, It only takes one bad moment to ruin someone's shift. Think about it this way. If you wouldn't do it to a performer on a stage, don't do it here. That means no grabbing, no pulling on costumes, no inappropriate comments, and no treating the interaction like a free-for-all photo opportunity. Follow the character attendance cues, keep things light and respectful, and let the moment play out naturally. Because when it's done right, these interactions are some of the most memorable parts of a Disney trip. But when boundaries get crossed, that's when the magic disappears fast. Alright, quick pause, because if you're still watching, you're already doing better than 90% of the people in the parks. But here's the twist. Everything we've talked about so far, that's the obvious stuff. What's coming up next is where things get sneaky. These are the habits people don't realize they're doing, the ones that quietly ruin rides, break immersion, and drive cast members up the wall without a single word being said. And trust me, at least one of these is going to hit a little too close to home. Let's keep going. Number 11. Don't spoil the show. Talking during rides and ruining stories. Disney rides aren't just rides, they're stories. Carefully timed, layered, immersive experiences that build moment by moment, and one of the fastest ways to break that illusion? Talking right through it. This has become a bigger issue lately. Guests have called out people loudly chatting during attractions, reciting every line like they're hosting the ride, or treating it like a moving break room. And while this might feel harmless if you've ridden something a dozen times, for someone else, it could be their first. Think about sitting in the Haunted Mansion stretching room for the first time, only to hear someone behind you talking over the ghost host, or riding Pirates of the Caribbean while someone debates dinner plans 2 rows back. It pulls you right out of the experience. The same goes for pre-shows. Those moments before the ride, they are part of the attraction. When people talk through them, it doesn't just affect their group, it affects everyone. The better move is simple. Keep conversations low, save commentary for after, let the moment play out. For someone nearby, this might be the only time they ever experience it. Number 12. Pick up after yourself. Leaving trash behind. Walt Disney had a simple philosophy. A clean park creates a better experience. That's why you'll find trash cans everywhere, famously placed so guests are never more than one short walk from a trash can. And yet, some people still treat the parks like a place to drop wrappers, cups, and half-eaten snacks wherever they happen to be. To be clear, this isn't about cleanliness, it's about respect. Custodial cast members work incredibly hard to keep the park spotless, often in the background, often unnoticed. When guests leave trash behind, it creates more work, slows down operations, and takes away from the immersive environment Disney is known for. So when trash ends up on the ground, it breaks that illusion just a little. The fix is easy. If you have trash, hold on to it for just a few seconds longer. There's almost always a bin nearby. It's one of the simplest ways to contribute to the magic and one of the fastest ways to stand out for the right reasons. Number 13, keep your clothes on. Changing or behaving inappropriately in public. Yes, this has happened. A BuzzFeed contributor recalled standing in line for the Enchanted Tiki Room when a woman in front of him removed her shorts and swapped them out for another pair, standing in her underwear in front of other guests. Cast members have also seen guests change outfits on benches or let children run around without proper attire. Besides being inappropriate, it slows down lines and makes others uncomfortable. There are restrooms and changing areas throughout the parks, so use them. If your clothes are soaked from Splash Mountain or a toddler had an accident, head to a restroom or baby care center to change. It respects everyone's personal space and keeps the magic intact. Number 14, taking photos in the worst possible spots. Our most relatable pet peeve. We all want that perfect Disney photo, castle shot, candid moment, maybe a quick selfie to remember the day. Totally fair. But there's a right place and a very wrong place. One of the biggest frustrations for both guests and cast members is when someone stops dead in the middle of a busy walkway to take a photo. No warning, no awareness, just brakes. And suddenly you've got a human traffic jam. This exact behavior gets called out all the time. People stopping abruptly in crowded areas, causing near collisions and pileups of people. And it's not just walkways. Guests stepping into restricted areas, leaning over barriers, or trying to sneak photos in places they shouldn't. All of it disrupts the experience and can create safety issues. Here's the thing. Disney has amazing photo spots built in. PhotoPass photographers, scenic angles, quieter areas just a few steps off the main path. So instead of stopping traffic, take one extra step to the side, set up your shot, take your photo, same memory, zero chaos. We're curious, which of these have you witnessed and which one surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. Maybe you've got a story of someone doing something wild in line, pants changing anyone, or a secret spot for unobstructed photos. We read every comment and love hearing your experiences. If you enjoyed this deep dive, give us a thumbs up so more Disney fans can find it and share it with a friend who needs a gentle nudge before their next trip. Subscribe for more insider guides and collabs, and click the next video on the screen for even more hidden gems. Your adventure is just beginning.